What's good? What's good? Facebook Live. I would let y'all kind of file into the room a little bit before I got started, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it, man. I know y'all probably seeing the title of this live video. Single mothers are destroying their sons, right? And this is the title of another woman's video that's currently going viral. I don't know if it went viral a long time ago, but I'm just now seeing it. So the video is going viral, and it's basically a woman, and she's responding to the response to an article that was talking about how black women are destroying their sons, particularly single mothers, black women that are single mothers. And her issue was that black women were reading this article, or not reading it, rather just seeing the title of it and being turned off. They weren't considering the content within or what could help them or whatever, right? So she goes on, this rant, or, this, I don't know what you want to call it, but I call it a rant, basically saying how black women are unable to be objective and see what they're doing wrong in the situation, that black women as single mothers are not equipped to raise their sons to be men. She also went on to use a couple of valid reasons, or at least valid examples of women that she knew that were actually harmfully impacting their sons to kind of vouch for her point that she was making. But overall, she was saying that single mothers are a huge problem when it comes to raising sons, right? So I just got a couple of issues with this. The topic of the single mother thing, is of course near and dear to my heart, because I was raised in a single parent household. I was raised by a single mother, and I largely, if you read anything that I've ever done, poem, any whatever, I largely accredit my mother for me being who I am today. It was her sacrifice. It was her hard work. It was who she intentionally placed around me to influence me and my masculine energy and to help develop that. All right. So the issue that I have with this, and she brings up a lot of points I hear in the conversation around single mothers. First off, black single mothers not being able to consider somebody's content when at first impression, the person clearly is attacking them. That's not a black woman problem. That's not unique to black women. When you see an article that's basically getting ready to attack you, that's already generalizing you, that's already reinforcing harmful stereotypes, forgetting the fact that you already have an uneven amount of stress and responsibility on you, that's not a black woman not being able to accept criticism, a black woman not being able to look objectively and see what they could do better. That's you are already attacking them. I don't want to hear shit you got to say. If you come at me out the gate disrespectful, and that's anybody, I'm sure a white woman would feel the same, an Arab woman or an Asian woman, whatever. You come out the gate disrespecting and insulting and attacking them, why the fuck would they want to hear what you got to say? They already know you're not coming from a place of constructive criticism because you're already generalizing. They already know that you're not coming from a place that means them well because you are already tearing them down. So first and foremost, let's not get that twisted. When a woman peeps game out the gate by the title that you reached so hard to make sure that you had that could catch attention, that she says, nah, you know what? I'm not even trying to hear this shit because I already done heard people come from this place and I don't need that shit right now. And that's just the truth of the matter. Now, moving on to the part where, a black woman can't raise a boy into a man. I don't agree, but let's just say that's true. Let's just say that's true. First and foremost, you were never meant to raise a boy into a man by yourself. The parental effort was designed for two. It was designed for two. And that's why I have a problem with people saying single mothers this, that, and the other so bad, because single mothers don't create themselves. You're not self-made as a single mother. 9 times out of 10. The only time I could agree that single mothers are ruining their sons is if they intentionally snatch their son away from a father that would have been good for them. That does happen. Let's not get that twisted now. That does happen. There are some people, there are some women that are pulling their kids away from fathers that want to be in their lives, that will be good for their lives, and they pull them away for their own selfish reasons. That's a whole different video. Now, I don't think that represents the majority, not nearly enough to generalize all single mothers as ruining their sons. So let's get back to the part where it's not meant for one person to do anyway. It's kind of like, if two people are supposed to move a couch, right? The couch absolutely, positively must get moved. But one person dips out and leaves the other person to move that couch on their own. So when the couch gets moved, it gets scraped or ruined. Who ruined the couch? Who was the cause of the couch being ruined? Was it the person that was left to do it by themselves? Or was it the person who left? I think it's the person that left. That's the person I would blame. Why did you leave? This was a job meant for two, and you dipped out. I'm not about to go and blame the person who did the best they fucking could when it wasn't supposed to be just them doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean by single mothers aren't self-created. We look at single mothers and we try to indict them directly, but their situation was caused by another person's actions. So if you're talking about a thief, you know a thief is self-created. His actions caused him to be a thief. A murderer, his actions caused him to be a murderer. Or a pilot, his actions of flying planes caused him to be a pilot. But when we're talking about single mothers, 9 times out of 10, we're talking about a woman who is in the position she's in as a result of somebody else's actions. So a better title or a better point to make is not that single mothers are ruining their sons. It's that the absence of fathers are ruining their sons. And even that would still be too broad. Because I know more great, awesome dads than I do deadbeat pieces of shit that leave their sons to fend for themselves or leave the mother to fend for themselves. But I got to address this, man, because I'm seeing the conversation. Every time I think that we're making some progress on this conversation, on this topic, I see somebody try to take us 2 steps back and then tell black women that, particularly black women, you know, I know there are other women listening and stuff like that, but particularly black women, I don't know why the attack is on y'all and there's such an enthusiasm to attach your blackness to you being, you know, incapable of being a good mother, but there is. And every time I think we're making some progress, somebody takes us 2 steps back and then tells you that as a woman, you're unable to look at yourself and see the problem. You just want to point fingers at everybody else. No, what I'm seeing is we want to start like first things first. We want to start with the biggest thing first. The biggest thing, the biggest impact to a son if he's ruined from a single parent household is not what that woman did. It's what the father wasn't there to do, even if he could do it. You know, it's like if we want to talk about, I don't know, the effects of crack cocaine, right? It's a bad drug. And somebody wants to talk first and foremost about how crack makes you lose weight. Makes you paranoid. Never mind the fact that crack fucking kills by itself. Crack kills. If we're talking about crack, that's the first thing I'm thinking about. This will kill you. This drug will kill you. It's not that I don't see the problem with it making you lose weight and making you steal shit or compromise your values or fuck up your family or whatever. No, I'm saying first things first. So when we talk about single parent households and a woman doing it all by herself, and the negative impact that has on the child, we start with first things first. The biggest impact to that situation is that a father was not there. Let's start there. And let's not blame black women for saying, if you want to talk to me about this shit, you better come from a place of constructive criticism. That's fair.